Update after update after update. It seems like Facebook aka Meta is like a never-ending runaway. Just in the last 12 months alone, we've seen and we've encountered more changes and more updates than ever. And this can be a huge problem for us marketers and business owners.
Not this shit again.
Why? Because instead of you focusing on the things and on the actions that actually do move the needle, such as improving your offer, improving your ad creatives, you have to always make all these new changes based on their updates. And this applies to launching new ads, deploying your ad campaigns. But today I want to just laser focus on one thing, and that is scaling. So today I want to share with you my lasting method to scale the profitable ad creatives that you're currently having on your Facebook Ads Manager. This is literally what I've seen in the last couple of years, that this method works continually and keeps working and performing for my clients, despite of all the changes, all the updates that are happening on this platform. So pay very close attention to it.
Pay close attention.
Now, when do we want to scale? The answer is pretty obvious. When we have winning ads and now we just want to increase our sales. Once we understand this point, now let's get into the how-to. And actually the how-to is pretty simple once you get these fundamental ideas of how Facebook ads work. I prefer a combination of incremental increase of your budget and duplication. So let me explain how this works. Let's start with an incremental increase. So let's say hypothetically that we have a winning ad set with multiple ad creatives. This is the time when you can confidently go and scale the budget by a certain percentage depending on the money that you are investing right now.
Like right now?
Like right now.
And a thumb rule that I would suggest you on is the less you spend on a specific ad set, on a specific ad, the more you can increase confidently the budget to those ads. There is this kind of rule that people talk all the time that you want to increase the budget by no more than 20%, but actually, do we want to do that? Because if you're spending very little budget, like $5–10 per day, that rule won't be applied to your business. In that case, it will take you very long time to spend actually a significant amount of money that will actually bring you some significant results to your business. Now, I'm gonna give you kind of like a framework, but this depends again on the price points that you have on your website. So something that I would look at is, let's say you're just getting started, you have this complete new ad set, and let's say you started with like something $5–10 per day, and you want to scale.
If you want to be rich.
Well, in that case, I would go ahead and increase it by 100% very fast, because at that time, you don't actually need to increase by 20% because it will take you a very long time until you spend a significant amount of money and until you figure out whether the ads that you launched are going to perform or not. If you get to a point where you spend now, let's say $20–50 per day, but in that case, you could decrease the amount you are increasing by. Let's say now, instead of 100%, you could increase it by 50%. If you get to a point where your ad set now is spending, let's say $50, $100, $150 per day, then you could increase it by 25, maybe 30%, and anything above, now you could apply the 20% rule, because now when you're increasing the budget even by 20, 15, 10%, you will see some significant jump in your ad budget. Your next question will be, okay, Archie, how often do I want to increase the budget by?
How often?
Once.
And this again depends on your price point. If you are selling something cheaper, then it's gonna be much faster decision for you to take whether to increase your budget or not, because you have to spend a certain amount to understand whether an ad creative has some potential or not. You cannot sell a product for like $500 and you are spending, I don't know, let's say $20 per day, and let's say after 3 days you go ahead and you turn it off because it doesn't work. It can work, but you just didn't give it enough time to understand whether it has some potential in the future or not.
Every project has potential.
You have to understand that there is also this pool of your competitors who also try to get your ideal customer, and they are also spending money and they are putting their ads in front of them, and you need a specific amount of touch points until you get the trust and the credibility from your customer. And that is why you have to spend enough budget, enough capital to understand whether your ad creative is going to work or it's going to be a total failure. So we talked about incremental increase for your winning ad sets. In order to have the full leverage and scale faster, I would prefer, like I said, to have a combination of incremental increase of your budget and a duplication. And for duplication, I mean that you now also duplicate and you use more ad sets using the same audience. And the audience that I recommend is the broad audience, where aka open targeting, because that's the most scalable and long-lasting audience that you can use on this platform. Think about it.
Let's think about it.
When you have a broad audience where essentially all you have to do is just insert your location where you can provide your product to, leave the age, the gender broad, and leave the algorithms do its thing, where you also, like, on top of that, if you know anything about how targeting works, if you have a good creative where it speaks to your ideal customer, now when you can actually have that long-lasting way to scale your Facebook ads. And here's the thing, the more ads you're going to launch, the more ad sets you're going to launch as well. And this will instantly make you increase your budget as well. Think about it. You duplicate another ad set, you have another ad set, and you have to spend now much more money.
It's money time, baby.
You are going to launch actually ads based on your data in those new ad sets. Now the potential to be scaled, those ads are going to be much higher. This is why I always emphasize the importance of improving your ad creatives and making them better. Based on all the research that you've done, based on the comments that you've got through the previous ads, based on all the data that you've accumulated so far. One thing that you have to consider when you are trying to scale is whether you are actually putting the right things in the ad visuals, in your ad copy, because that can cost a lot of money.
So it's money. So it's money.
If you think about it, like how the algorithms work, now they are targeting based on your creative, based on your copy. So if you don't have the right things, the right inputs, they will give you the wrong outputs, which means bad return on ad spend and very low amount of sales. Now, I have actually managed to record a video about how actually targeting works and how to use the right inputs to target the right customer, so you could use all these methods to scale further your ad creatives. Until next time, click over here and I will speak to you very soon.